Hey there, I'm Michael Lohr from Germany, and this is a presentation for my PCG summer school submission. After thinking a day about the problem I want to try solve, I had this idea to generate an interesting procedural mini-golf course. I really got inspired by some of the lectures talking about L systems and the wave function collapse algorithm, so I tried those first. But the courses didn't look right and not fun. They always looked either too random or too linear. And especially when using L systems, I really hadn't like a good idea on how to generate a lot of them, a lot different ones. So I came up with my own weird solution after really thinking about how those mini golf courses should look like. But before I explain my approach, here's the result. So I wanted to make a little mini game out of it, but since I'm currently finishing up my bachelor's thesis, I haven't the time to further improve it, and physics are a little bit screwed right now. But what works is the actual path generation, or the map generation. So the only thing which is really procedural generated here is the path along those tiles are placed. Those tiles are randomly selected. So when having a straight tile, I'm selecting a random tile out of a list which contains straight tiles, and the same goes for angular tiles and the start and end ones. I got the 3D models from kenny.nl, which provides free game assets online. And yeah, so the interesting part is how I generated the this path. And this is actually kind of weird approach which I've never seen before, but let me explain. So I'm using basically just a Perlin noise, and based on a seed I sample a random region on that Perlin noise, for example this one here, and then I select two positions on the border, and now I basically consider every value in the Perlin noise which is above 0.5 as solid. So for example, those regions here would be considered all solid. So now I try to find a path around those mountains. So I basically path find through that Perlin noise. And for this I'm using a slightly modified A star, which only allows the direction up, right, left, and down. So I get those, so I get like an edgy looking path. And yeah, I actually wanted to find a path around some spheres which are randomly placed inside a certain area, but then I decided to use Perlin noise, and after tweaking the scale and offset of the noise a little bit, I got those really promising results here. And you actually can see those small lines, if they are not too little. It basically shows the path I tried to search for the target. And yeah, for example, around here in the center, there are probably very high values. So if we're talking about world generation, then this would be kind of mountain in here. And this is how I achieve those really nice looking mini golf courses. Like there are some crazier ones like this, but they are really rare and they are never too extreme. Most of the time they are really like this one. Like it's a really playable and fun looking golf course, which you could also encounter in real life. Yeah. So thanks to the organizers and especially to the speakers for this interesting event, and I learned really a lot in the lectures. Yeah, that's it from me. See you around.